with all the best of Los Angeles here tonight. I asked, well, about what I should speak, and the answer came back about 5 minutes. So I brought my little clock here, and I will keep myself. Today Barry and I were on the radio, and there was a question at one point, can you tell us the story of the ring? Live. And I was looking at the clock and I saw that the time was running out on the show. Barry said, well, James, maybe you want to say that. So I think I got it down to 45 seconds. A thumbnail sketch of what happens when nature is offended. And I said it amongst the many, many interpretations of the ring. There have been Freudian rings, there have been Jungian rings, there have been Keynesian rings, there have been Marxist rings. There's every type of ring. This is also a green ring. You know what happens when that beautiful gold, which belongs to nature, protected and adored and admired by 3 beautiful ladies, and I see we've brought our own 3 beautiful ladies here. I see them over there. 3 Rhine maidens. We have. What happens when when somebody throws a monkey wrench into and steals that gold, and what happens? And 15 hours later, after you've been through this entire story, that ring, that gold goes back where it belongs, into the Rhine, and you have to figure out because the man who stole it is Albrecht, and we all know about Albrecht, he renounced love, and because nobody who really wants to renounce love, and so if you're going to get power, you're going to have to renounce love, and after all of that, we see the error of his ways, and the whole world is a mess because somebody renounced love. So when it's all over, it's all purified again. There's a purifying fire, and there's a purifying. The Rhine River overflows and washes away, and we all get another chance. The Rhine maidens get that gold back. They're the only ones that are left. But the only one who's not accounted for at the end of this ring is Albrecht. And this omission is a very interesting thing. If Albrecht is not accounted for, and we know the Rhine maidens are still over there where they're meant to be with their gold, what's going to happen after the ring is over? Is it all going to happen again? Is Albrecht going to go and steal the ring again, and we're going to have another cycle? Or is this really a new beginning? In other words, is history, the world, the universe, is it cyclical, or is it linear? And well, I figured that this June is a great opportunity to figure this out, because at the end of our first ring cycle, if that problem is troubling you, whether it starts all over again, the answer is yes, it starts all over again. And that's when you bring all of your friends who missed the first ring cycle to the second ring cycle. And since it's still not clear at the end of the second cycle, you're going to have to bring everybody back to the third cycle to see if it's resolved. And my guess is at the end of the third cycle, it is not resolved. And so, as my boss, Placido, said to me one day, he says, you know what, if it goes well, maybe we can do it again in 2015. So the answer is, it's not going to be resolved at the end of June. I believe that the ring is in Los Angeles to stay. I believe that the ring is also a life-changing event. It has certainly changed the life of LA Opera. It should have, and it has. And Mark Stern, we are grateful to you and all of the team that have made this happen through thick and thin. Some years ago, when Placido called me up, and I was still in Europe, he said, would you ever consider coming to Los Angeles Opera to be the music director? And I said, gee, I never thought about that. I said I was sort of getting rid of these 2 big jobs in Europe and was looking forward to goofing off. He said, no, come out here, it's great. I said, well, can I do Wagner? He said, sure. And I said, all right, now here's the big question. Are you really going to do the ring? He said, absolutely, we're going to do the ring. I said, okay, the rest are details. We can discuss it. I'll come. And so this is a great moment for me to be able to, having worked all of these years together with Placido, having met and gotten to know and to cherish the collaboration with Achim Freyer, this is a moment for all of us in LA Opera for which we are extremely proud. And it's the fruition of all of that great moment. It is intended, and this festival is intended to mark an event which is long overdue. No great city in the world can possibly consider itself great culturally if it hasn't had its ring. That omission in Los Angeles is now corrected, and it thrills me to see and to hear about from several people I've spoken to who thanked me today, and said, we brought our high school students to the dress rehearsal of Götterdämmerung, and they had never seen an opera. And they were thrilled, and they were so thrilled they went and told all their friends, and they want to come back. And I thought to myself, times have changed. There's a famous lady of history, and this story may be apocryphal, and she was taken to the opera for the first time at 13, and I'm speaking of Queen Elizabeth. And the opera that was selected was Siegfried, and it didn't work out. And apparently she didn't like it. And I thought of myself, I was 14 when I saw my first Wagner opera, and it worked out for me. I fell in love with it. I remember I did not understand German. I could not figure out the story. I knew nothing about really anything. But the impact of that music was unforgettable. And so I've spent my life with Wagner, with the Ring. And when I hear that there are high school students coming to these performances, hearing it for the first time, this gives me a thrill, and I see, speaking of cycle, I see my own life cycle there. My life cycle is coming around when I can give the same experience back to people of that age who are hearing it for the first time and are loving it. And I want to say that this shows us all that classical music is for everybody, opera is for everybody, and yes, even Wagner is for everybody. So welcome everybody.